Al's annual recognition celebration. We thank you all for being here. We congratulate all of you and thank you for all the work you do in our schools. This evening's event is planned to honor those involved in bringing the community into our schools and I guess the schools into our community as well through the Sarasota County School District's Volunteer and Business Partner Program.
The recognition event is important for a number of reasons. As you know, volunteers are not in it for the glory. They always tell us that they get much more out of it themselves than they believe they are giving to the schools. So one thing we do at the recognition event is we bring together the school-based administrator with the staff members who run the volunteer and business partner programs along with the winners. The recognition event allows us to show others in the community examples of the folks who volunteer and the joy that they receive from volunteering. We do say to them very sincerely, you're doing us a favor because you're helping us to show the community what others could do.
You know, the last few years have not been easy for many, many people. The economic downturn has meant that families have had to make sacrifices to do things differently and rethink some things they may have taken for granted. But through it all, your commitment to giving yourselves for the good of our students has not wavered. Amazingly, individuals who may need time to attend to their own challenges still find time to volunteer, tutor, mentor. We have business partners whose own companies may be struggling. They still find the resources to step up and support our schools. When we needed more reading tutors for our new middle school program, you were right there. When we put out the call for people to get special training for working with students living in poverty, you responded. When schools asked local businesses to support a particular project with dollars or in-kind donations, you got out your checkbooks, or you showed up with that item that was needed to make a jogathon or school carnival the best ever. And at our schools, our volunteers and business partner coordinators, staff members who increasingly have more responsibilities as budgets get tighter and staff positions are reduced, they continue to do the important work of making sure these programs run smoothly. Best of all, you handle all the details with such grace and good humor, because I think you understand that when challenges keep piling up and we just can't juggle one more task, sometimes all we can do is share a laugh and hope that things get a little better. You are making a difference. So as an optimist, I believe things will get better. Despite the budget constraints we will continue to face in the next few years, but I tell you, the main reason for my optimism is in this room. Committed volunteers, dedicated business partners, hardworking people at our schools and district offices, and a wonderful supportive community that believes in public education. We are truly partners in this work. So look around, celebrate your success, knowing that you truly make a difference for us all. Thank you so very much.
Our three winners this year definitely are outstanding in terms of the time and effort they put forward. And we recognize that not everybody in the community can do that. They're limited by work schedule, they're limited by availability. We have so many nonprofit organizations in the Sarasota community. They volunteer in other places. So what we want to make sure community members realize is giving as little as an hour a week can make a huge difference in a school and in the life of a child. This year, our three winners, our youth winner, adult winner, and senior winner, give us a nice example of the range of volunteer opportunities in the school. For example, Dave Stife, who was our Senior Volunteer of the Year, he was the winner at Gulfgate Elementary School.
Well, Dave, a few years ago, called up our school and asked if there was anything he could do to help. He had a great idea. He's from Gulfgate Church, which is directly across the street from our school. And he came to meet with me with this really good idea. He said, I really want to start a mentoring program where we can get our church involved with your school, and it's a program called Kids Hope, and it's national.
And basically what Kids Hope does is places a mentor with a student for a one-on-one relationship? Well, first of all, I was a principal in Michigan for 32 years, and I retired in Florida in 2004. I was looking for something that I really wanted to do as a part of my retirement. And for 3 years, I did a lot of playing golf, playing tennis, kayaking, a lot of different things. And it turned out for me that that was all about me, and my life has never been all about me. And what I really needed to do is make it about helping others, and knowing that when I helped others, it made me feel good. I'm an educator who believes that hard work with children, when you really care for them, makes a huge difference in their lives. And I believe that when we do intervene and when we do show those children that we care, that huge differences can be made in their lives, perhaps more than at any point in our history.
Dave came to the school and saw a school-wide opportunity. He recognized that a lot of the students at the school could benefit from some mentoring, and trained and organized a team of mentors who come into the school every week. So Dave not only organizes and manages that team of mentors, he mentors himself at the school.
Well, I first met Mr. Stife last year, I believe, when I was having trouble with my grades. Well, I was failing to complete my homework because I couldn't focus that much. I wasn't that organized. Well, he got me some folders. He helped me with my work, helped me get it completed in class.
Brendan's a very intelligent young boy, and where we really come with Brendan is figuring out what it takes to draw a job to completion, to then feel good about what he's done, not to just have him be given a bunch of feel-goods, but that he can look at what he's done, and then when he achieves praise, he knows that he achieves praise because he has accomplished something. Okay, now let's go on to the next page. What's the next thing you have to do? That right there?
Describe the desert.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I haven't seen an improvement because I have gotten all B's so far this year. And I started with, I think, all D's and raised them all to B's.
They are certainly their formative years, and I believe that they need good examples in their lives. I believe that they need people who they really think believe in them, who are willing to spend time with them, just them, so that they think that they mean something to someone else as well as you meaning something to them. You don't have to be perfect, or because you'll be perceived by them as being much more perfect than what you really are anyhow. Okay, so you're saying 3. Mm-hmm. I was introduced to Minnow Miller by the counselor at Gulfgate School, and Minnow had some perceived needs at that point in time, and I was asked if I would like to add a second person to my caseload, and it became very apparent to me that that would be a good relationship for me.
When my dad died, I was having trouble with math and everything, so my mom called, I forget what it was, and they hooked me up with Mr. Stife.
He was having a few problems in school, and we felt that some relationship issues would be good to do.
Usually we go outside and play basketball. We play a game called Horse, where it's like if one person throws it and you have to go to that place, and if you miss it from there, you get an H. And then he teaches me how to play it. And then we come inside and study on stuff.
You wouldn't have 180. No. How many are here?
We were just reviewing a lesson, and it was just do like division and stuff like that.
In one place that has 4 in 2 separate columns.
Well, they're all 10s.
Yeah, I know, but draw 10 of them.
He is really good at teaching. He's a good friend and just awesome.
therefore, I believe that we can make a difference in their lives, and I believe that we should put together all the resources that we can. I'm not a personal believer that that we have to spend an enormous amount of money. I think that we need to put an enormous amount of care.
He said, I don't know what I'd do without Mr. Stife. He said, I look forward to seeing him every single week at Gulfgate. I know he has my back. I know he'll listen to me, and he's always there for me.
Sometimes we talk about how our day was, how we're doing.
Minnow is just an outstanding young person who is certainly making some huge growth in his life.
He got me back on track, sorta, and he just kinda made me feel better, I guess.
Being chosen as the senior volunteer of the year through the Sarasota schools and being chosen that by a group of people who work with the PALS program is indeed a humbling thing for me. More humbling after I saw looked like 400 to 500 people at that banquet and all the people who do all the things that they do. It's indeed a great honor, and for them to recognize the time and effort that you put in, because of course when you put that time and effort in, you have no idea about any honor, because what you think about is how can I affect the kids that I work with. Seeing all the others do the same thing, it's just like, wow, that was neat of them to honor me. But what I also think about when that happens is what an honor for all the mentors that I work with and what they do with their kids. It's like, and I tried to share that with all of my mentors. Wow, look at you. Look at how highly that was thought of. And the other thing that I think of is Gulfgate School. Wow, what an honor for Gulfgate School that the system would think highly enough about something that happens here to their kids that they chose to participate with us in, and how that has become magnified several degrees by the honor that was received. So I can be the guy in between and say, wow, I was lucky to get the honor, but it's really an honor for Gulfgate School, and it's really an honor for Gulfgate Church right across the street. It's an honor for all of them with the people and the mentors that are working with the program and the national programs that are running with it. So therefore, if all of them get honored, then I'll be pleased.
I think the unique thing about our volunteer program is that the volunteers become a part of the school community. They're not just showing up and putting in their time and leaving. They become an integral part of the day-to-day functioning of the school. They make a difference. They invest in the school. They help lead the school. And principals do rely upon them to help in those ways.
I know he's given us hundreds and hundreds of hours over the past few years, but because of his passion for what he does, he has gotten other people involved in the mentoring program. And through word of mouth, my hope is that will continue long after Dave decides to finally truly retire from what he does.
Thanks to my volunteer, I am a better reader.
Thanks to my volunteer, math seems simple now.
Thanks to my volunteer, I discovered new career goals.
I'm a volunteer for Sarasota County Schools, so I know I can make a difference. And you can too. Give an hour, change a life.
John, who is our Youth Volunteer of the Year, he, number one, is a great role model for other students to show students how they can impact the school district and the community through volunteering. John volunteered in 3 different ways. He volunteered through organizations at his school. He also recognized needs at the school and developed programs through which he volunteered. And then he also serves as a volunteer in the community and therefore is an excellent representative of our school district to the community in terms of giving back and helping with projects and nonprofit efforts in the community.
PALS Community Advisory Board had the difficult task to choose one as the Sarasota County School District level Outstanding Youth Volunteer of the Year. And this year's district winner is John Potvin from Pineview School.
At our school, an important part of our school's mission, and an important part of what we try to communicate to our students and part of our school culture is the importance of giving back to the community, the importance of community service, the importance of really sharing what we have with other people. And Johnny is probably the poster child for that message this year.
Community partnerships with several organizations including UNICEF, March of Dimes, Children's Miracle Network, Read to Lead, American Cancer Society, Meals on Wheels, Salvation Army, and the Mayor's Feed the Hungry program. John led the Key Club in 2 major initiatives, working with Farm Share, a Miami organization that alleviates hunger and malnutrition by recovering and distributing surplus food. The club coordinated distribution of over 40,000 pounds of fresh produce to those in need.
My first project that I was ever involved in was with my dad. I started when I was 5 years old. It was a Tree of Joy. I would stand outside as a 5-year-old outside of the Sears Mall, and I would ask people for money and to give $1, $2, whatever, to help the cause, which is to take 150 local Sarasota needy kids Christmas shopping in Sears during December. And I didn't understand what that meant until I was probably about 12 or 13 years old, going into eighth grade. And I really started to understand how much of a difference we were making. My dad would probably be my biggest inspiration. He's just a wonderful guy. His mindset of just helping other people and his mindset just to be an active participant throughout the community. And my mom has always just been a part of that, that type of mindset, just helping others and giving back. She's a teacher now. She loves working with kindergarten, 1st and 2nd graders, and she just enjoys helping the youth. Just to take on that helping others is a good thing to do. It's the right thing to do, and it's necessary for the world to be successful and to just keep turning around. I mean, people should help other people. It should be out of the goodness of their heart to help other people and to do what's right.
Back up, keep out. Ben.
I started community service when I was 5 years old. I also started basketball when I was 4 years old. And I've always just played basketball. I've loved it. Until 9th grade year, maybe 8th grade year, I decided that it was time to step up and kind of be the leader. I was never going to be the best kid on the court, never going to be able to make the best shots, make the 3-point shots, dunk the ball, whatever. But I knew that I could do something different on the court, and that was to be a leader. From playing basketball and being a part of it since I was 4 years old and just loving basketball, loving sports, loving the idea of being active on the court as well, I really felt like I could inspire other kids. I really feel passionate about the idea of working with kids, not only through swim lessons, not only through the service and helping the homeless kids that need help or the kids that need clothes, but I also feel like you can help kids that might have it all. They might have all the privileges in the world. Their family might be from a high end of society, but these kids, growing up from 5 years old to 13, 14 years old, that idea of coaching them and helping them on the court develop personalities, develop characteristics, a part of their personality that can live with them forever.
As you look at his accomplishments and you look at how much he has volunteered and given back to those around him and those afar, he really exemplifies that whole message and the whole notion of trying to make the world, or at least his world, a better place.
It's kind of awkward getting this award now because people are like, congratulations, and I'm like, well, thank you. I mean, because it's weird getting that recognition for doing community service. You do sports to win, you go to school to get into college to get recognition, but you don't do service to get that recognition.
What's probably particularly challenging about a student giving back to school is they must find time to do that in conjunction with their very busy, very demanding academic load. But Johnny's been able to do that to the nth degree for sure. He's also been part of a couple of initiatives that he has spearheaded pretty much, I guess, individually. That speak to providing for those less fortunate in our community.
Amy's one of those quiet, dedicated volunteers who, until you stop and think about it and you realize, wait a minute, Amy was involved in this and involved in this and involved in this. So she gives an example of the full range at a school as a volunteer.
Amy's oldest son was in kindergarten here 3 years ago, and she showed up at the front door right after kindergarten roundup and said, "What can I do to help?" And right after she said that, that was it. Amy has been a daily fixture here at Gulf Gate School since that time. Her second son is now in kindergarten. She is the vice president of our PTA, and she is involved with every aspect of fundraising, of family nights, of get-togethers. She supports our teachers, all of our staff, our family. She is the glue that holds the PTA together with our staff here at Gulf Gate School. She does everything and anything that you ask of her.
I became a volunteer at Gulf Gate Elementary School 3 years ago, and my oldest son entered Gulf Gate as a kindergarten student. The minute we walked into the school, I just loved the whole atmosphere. I was just embraced by it. And I got involved as a room parent. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was able to do a lot. When a lot of parents worked, I was just like, I can do that. What do you need? I could do that.
When she says she's going to do something, she does it. So that helps me knowing if I give her a task or we ask her to do something, it's going to be completed, and it's going to be completed well. And that takes a load off of my plate because I don't have to worry about it being done and being done right because Amy takes it and runs with it.
I'm a class parent for both classrooms, so we do a lot of the class parties, help with any of the needs of the classrooms with reading or anything like that. As far as PTA goes, we do welcome back dinners, we do family bingo nights, we have a big giant movie screen we blow up on the front lawn twice a year at night, and we do family movie nights where we have pizzas brought in. We also do a Monte Carlo night, which is our big fundraiser at the end of the year, which is a blast. Teacher Appreciation Week, which we do something every day of the week for the teachers, and like Sunday night we come and we sidewalk chalk the whole front of the school for the teachers, which is so much fun. Maggie knows where it is. It's a pyramid now. I don't think it got you. We got to double click until it makes our little, there we go, the hourglass. I specifically work with the children on reading and getting prepared for first grade, which they need to be able to use their reading skills and apply them and learn to use those to test on the computers and be prepared for first grade, which is a pretty hard skill and a concept for a kindergartner to remember. So I come in weekly and help the children to learn that skill and to use them on the computers, which they're getting very good at. They're awesome. And like tomorrow we're going on a field trip with them, so I'll do chaperoning with them. But mostly on the kindergarten class I concentrate and help with reading. I think that's very important.
She's energetic is the first thing, which is what everybody loves about her. The children love to read with her. The children love even when they're taking tests with her because she's energetic. She's dependable for me. I know that I can count on her. I know that if I need something done and I ask Amy, it doesn't matter what it is, she just does it. And that's just a wonderful thing to have.
All I know is that if anybody could give an hour of their time, it's amazing what the needs are, because these people that work are already doing so many jobs. Literally, you could work 40 hours and use 40 more and not get it done. Well, I think it definitely helps the children, but it also helps these teachers and the community itself. Like if we all pull together, it just makes such a more rich environment for everybody.
Well, we have a lot of accountability as teachers. We have a lot of children in the classroom. I have 18 little kindergartners in this room during the day, and it gets very busy and active, as you can imagine. It helps enormously to have an extra set of hands around, especially hands of someone who enjoys doing volunteering in the classroom. It helps the children, it helps me, hopefully it helps the volunteer. It's just a win-win situation for everybody.
Volunteers, they're the crux of our school. We could not operate as efficiently as we do without them. From just people who come in and shelve the books in the media center when we have hundreds of books that need to be shelved, to people who work with students who are having difficulty reading, to mentors. We don't have the money to afford all of those extra hands, and to have people come in and help us with that really makes a huge difference. And even though the Amy McCollums won't be here forever and ever, it's my hope that when people see all of the things that she does and the impact that she's made, that she'll make a difference and make other people want to volunteer at our school.
So please come to the stage, Amy McCollum.
could believe that I got volunteer for the year for Gulfgate Elementary because I think it's based on hours. And like I said, most kids think I'm employed here because I am here a lot. I still, even though I went to the banquet and was presented the trophy that's sitting at home, I still cannot wrap my head around that. That's quite an honor. Like I said, when my children are through with Gulfgate, this school is just such a gem of Sarasota. It's just, when you walk in, it is such a rich environment. It's such a diversity. These kids get so much from each other, so much from the school, from just being around each other, and it's such an open and loving environment. And it's from the volunteers that come in every day. These kids know you, they love you. 30 or 40 kids will come up and hug you. They're so happy to see you.
During last year, with all the hours that you logged, we were able to document our volunteers and business partners entered 256,688 hours.
And in today's economic, political climate, that's not happening in education. So that leads you to, where do you get the extra help from? There's only one place, and that's volunteers.
What it highlights is how one person can make such a difference, can have such an impact, and there are lots of one persons out there. There's lots of people who can have the same kind of impact, and that giant ripple effect is just amazing.
But we know that you do far more than that. The work you do at home, on the weekends, when you don't sign into the PALS computer. Okay, we could do better next year. Your dedication makes a difference. Now, you know how it is. We talked about love and caring, and that's what it's all about, and dedication. But in education, we have to have numbers, we have to have data, we have to have accountability. She taught me well. So, we're going to talk a few numbers here. The independent sector in Washington, D.C. estimated last year that the average value of volunteer hour is $22.14. Ooh, I said that's too low. But that's what we have to go with, okay? So using that calculation with the number of hours that you put in last year, you volunteers and business partners, have added a value of over $5.6 million to our school district. So on behalf of you, the volunteers and business partners, we present a check for $5.6 million to our superintendent and our school board chair. And if you want to get a smile on our superintendent's face, we just hand her this check every year, and it makes her very happy.
There's something that I would like the viewing public to realize, is that there's no secret handshake. There's no special uniforms or anything like that. Anybody watching this right now can become part of this. So having extra sets of hands to work with kids, one-on-one, one-on-two, one-on-three, can be so valuable and can actually give that kid that aha moment that the teacher wasn't able to do. And maybe you're not comfortable going in and tutoring somebody or mentoring some. Maybe your experiences put you more in a leadership capacity, and that's where your skill is. Well, then you should call the PALS office, because we are always on the lookout for additional Community Advisory Board members.
The PALS Community Advisory Board, or CAB as they're fondly referred to, they make it all possible. Over the years, with all the budget cuts, the cutback in staffing, we've had to rely more and more on this nonprofit organization that is dedicated solely to supporting the volunteer and the business partner programs in the schools. I would encourage those individuals in the community who have volunteered for a long time and might like to step to the next level where they can impact volunteering on a broader basis to apply to become a CAB member, because as our district has budget cuts year after year that also results in staffing cuts, we need to rely more and more on the work and the leadership of the PALS Community Advisory Board. There's another way that volunteers come into our schools, and that is through our business partners in the community. We invite those businesses in the community who might like to partner with our schools to approach the schools, to talk about what they can bring to the school, what the school might be able to bring to their business, and oftentimes the businesses will bring their employees in as a group to volunteer in the schools. We do have a program, Team Up, it's our business partner program, and businesses can go online and take a look at what our schools need in terms of volunteers and other kinds of support.
The difference that they can make in a child's life is great. And they may not know at the time what a difference that they've made with somebody. They may never know. But I see kids here every single day, and I talk to them every single day, and I know what an impact adults have on their lives because they tell me. They share with me how excited they are when somebody comes to listen to them read a book, even if they can't read very well. They tell me how great it is when a volunteer just comes and talks to them and just lets them feel really special inside. And it makes a difference to the staff, knowing that all of these people will rally behind to get them the materials that they need that we might not have the money for. Just knowing that our community is here to support us makes their teachers and staff want to work harder, not only for the kids, but for their families and for the community as a whole.